Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, government insisting there can be no monopoly on motorcycle taxis.
Ang ano natin dito, pag distribute natin ng cap, is to distribute them to 3 players so that we will come up with a good study. Hindi yung isa lang ang kinukuha natin ng datos.
Transport regulators accusing a motorcycle ride-hailing app of emotional blackmail.
Binubuli na nila yung technical working group by spreading lies.
This is not livelihood. This is a study.
With new motorcycle taxi companies coming in, are jobs really at risk?
Hindi po mawawala. They only need to choose kung saan sila pwede mag-participate. They can apply with the other two providers.
And will March 2020 be the end of the road for motorcycle taxis?
What happens now after 3 months? Tapos na yung programa.
Technical Working Group consultant Alberto Suansing joins us live. Thank you for joining us. Sitting in for Pinky Web, I'm Ruth Cabal. Thousands of Metro Manila commuters relying on motorcycle taxis now on a pilot run for their daily commute amid worsening traffic conditions. A pioneer in the motorcycle taxi service industry, Angkas, warns that many of its riders will lose their jobs following a new policy implemented for the extended dry run for motorcycle taxis. However, the interagency body calls out Angkas for its, quote, overreaction and emotional blackmail. Transport regulators add that Angkas or motorcycle taxis are not legal yet. Let's go straight to the source of the story. Transportation Department's Technical Working Group consultant Alberto Suansing. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show. Thank you for taking time to join us.
Good morning to your viewers.
Sir, una muna,
Yes.
where are we on the dry run? Ano pong nangyayari ngayon?
Okay, ang ginagawa ng Technical Working Group ngayon is nag-umpisa na tayo mag-collate ng data na available. Like for example, many questions being asked. Like, paano ba mag-ooperate yung motorcycle taxi once it becomes a law? No, yung mga ganong study. And I'd like to emphasize, this is a pilot program. This is not about livelihood. No? Ang magbibigay ng livelihood sa kanila pag naging batas. Yes, yun ang
Kasi at present, di ba nga po, bawal pa silang maging public transport under the Transportation Code.
All intent and purposes, what they are doing is illegal.
Yeah.
And of course, as far as Angkas is concerned, hindi sila yung nauna dyan. Actually, yung dito sa Metro Manila, medyo sexy ang tawag natin, Angkas. No? But sa province, habal-habal yan.
Habal-habal, opo.
Yes, doon nag-umpisa yan yung habal-habal na yan. Then, in fact, during my time as LTFRB chief, nag-umpisa ng dumami yan. The first time I noticed it, just may BGC. Meron nang gumagawa naghahatid.
Yung naghihintay sa may sa may EDSA. Opo.
Yun. So, I warned them. Mali ang ginagawa nyo. Walang batas. Bawal ang motorsiklo gamiting public utility vehicle.
You were saying nga na as of this time, illegal pa sila, but then it was authorized by, you were authorized by Congress to hold the dry run, di ba po?
Yes,
There were guidelines released. Can you tell us, what's the dry run for, and then yung objectives lang po, and then paano binuo yung technical working group, yung mga members?
The dry run is, actually it's not called a dry run, but a pilot program.
Okay.
Binuo yan because as instructed by Congress to find out the feasibility of making motorcycle as a taxi or as a public utility vehicle. Yun. No? So, from there, nagtrabaho na yung technical working group.
How were the members chosen?
Well, okay, the members of the technical working group are yung DOTR family. DOTR, LTO, LTFRB, and IAC.
HPG.
HPG is a resource person.
Okay.
Angkas is a resource person. And so the others, like for example, yung mga road safety advocates.
Yeah, sila Attorney Inton.
And the others.
Because we had him also before.
In fact, ito ang bigat nga ng trabaho namin because yung like for example, yung road safety advocates, is vehemently objecting na maging public utility vehicle yung motorsiklo. As a personal transportation facility, yes. No? But alam mo, Ruth, every time you board the motorcycle and ride it, isang paa mo nasa hukay. No? What more kung may pasahero pa?
Kaya talagang importante maintindihan yung safety and to come up with standards doon sa batas. Kasi may mga pending bills to legalize it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Pero nakita ko yung guidelines kasi, the original guidelines was, yun na nga, hanggang December 26 lang po.
26 lang.
But now we extended it and then we allowed 2 more to come in.
We extended it up to March, no, and allowed 2 more participants na gusto sumali doon sa pilot program. Actually, 7 yan nag-a-apply as early as September. Meron naman nagsisignify na gusto nilang ma-include sa pilot program. It was only in December that we decided, the technical working group decided, na sige, pumili tayo doon sa 7 kung sinong isasali natin. Then we came up with 2.
Yes.
No? Joyride and Move It.
Bakit po sila yung napili? Ano po yung...
Okay. They went through a process.
Okay.
Ano? Ang initial process nun was yung presentation na ginawa nila. Of the 7 na gusto mag-applicants, 3 kagad ang na-itsapwera doon. Dahil kasi mukhang kwento lang yung presentation nila. No? So, nag-concentrate kami doon sa 4. No? Then, tinignan namin yung state of readiness ng 4. So, we came up with 2.
So you're saying now na itong dalawa, Joyride PH and Move It, ay ready to, to join the market and possibly, dahil po marami na silang units, marami na silang riders.
Yung mga participants na yan, like Joyride and Move It, they're into delivery.
So existing na sila now.
So gusto lang nila sumali dun sa motorcycle taxi.
Okay. Baka gusto niya rin i-address yung nag-viral over the weekend na kasi daw kaya daw pinayagan ng Joyride PH dahil isang senador daw ang may-ari. Although Senator Bongo already released a statement
I don't know,
that.
but we've gone over the papers of both applicant. Wala naman kami nakitang politically sounding names doon.
Okay.
Ang sabi ko nga bakit ito? Sinasabi nila may political influence. Baka sila.
Okay.
Yung angkas, no? Yun ang
Why are you saying that, sir?
Quick retort ko, no? Baka sila, no? Because for all along, they've been lobbying in Congress and in the Senate na, yun nga, magkaroon ng batas.
Pero I was reading some reports, nakita ko rin yung post ni Congressman Onyx Crisologo congratulating Joyride PH and may picture po sila nila Congressman Mike Defensor. And he even wrote on his post na kasama sila dun sa nag-push for the inclusion of additional players.
Hindi ko alam yun. Ano?
Okay.
Hindi ko alam yung bagay na yun. Basta't, yun nga, there were 7 applicants. Wala kaming tinitingnan kung sino bang politiko ang nandun sa likod niyan. In fact, wala naman kami naramdaman political pressure.
Okay.
No? So, basta't we went over the process na pagpili, and then we came up with 2.
And you think they're, among the 7 applicants, sila yung very feasible to conduct operations?
Yes, yes.
Pero yung isang naging issue kasi, sir, yung cap. Okay, why did you decide to put a cap on the number of units or riders?
The cap that they're saying is actually to better manage the monitoring system, no? That's why inilimit namin to 10,000 per participant, no? And you again, I hope they understand where government is coming from. Illegal yung operation nila, no? And ang problema, yung angkas, misconstrued it as yung pag-create noong what you call this, yung technical working group at saka yung pilot program as a license to do business. And sabi namin, hindi business pinag-uusapan muna dito. Although, in the course of our study, no, yung doon sa ginagawa namin ngayon, masasama yan. No? Like for example, ang tinitingnan kagad namin dyan is yung let's say motorcycle owner, he wants to be a motorcycle taxi. So, pwede ba yun na mag-a-apply lang siya, no? Then, takbo na siya sa kalsada. Ang tingin namin, they have to go through a what we call ride-hailing company for better control.
Hindi siya pwedeng individual lang
Hindi
na
pwedeng,
mag-apply ng
ay,
ano.
nako,
Yes,
Ruth,
opo.
magiging parang sidewalk bending yan.
So, dadami yung kolorum.
Dadami
ano?
yung kolorum. Then, of course, the other matter that needs to be discussed is who's going to regulate? LTFRB ba or the local government unit? Pag local government unit, then we have to look back at the experience ng tricycle. Nakita mo naman, Ruth, ano? Namumutik-tik yung tricycle sa kalsada. So, that we would like to avoid. Now, competition.
Sorry, sir. Hindi lang ako familiar. So, yung mga tricycle ngayon ay local LGUs
government
ba?
yan.
Okay. So,
Local
that's also an
government
issue
yan.
that you have to settle, whether it's gonna be
Yes,
LTFRB or...
oo.
Okay.
Kasi nga, yung experience nga dyan, because of the creation of DILG, yung tricycle na devolve
okay.
sa local government units.
Okay. Sir, pag-usapan pa natin yung ibang detalye nitong
Yes.
pilot run. We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Transportation Department Technical Working Group Consultant Alberto Suansing. Sir, we're talking about yung objectives ng pilot run, di ba? Aside from gusto nyo tignan. Siyempre, number one, yung safety. You're also saying possible regulation.
Possible regulation.
LTFRB ba? Or local government.
Yes.
And then you told me earlier na kaya nagkaroon ng cap dun sa 30,000
Yes.
is you wanted to manage muna the
Manage
study.
the study,
Oo.
yeah.
So, of course, alam nyo na yung protests about that. Nagkaroon ng protest over the weekend, tapos
Yes.
nag-trend pa yung hashtag Save Angkas. And Angkas is saying 17,000 ng riders nila ay mawawalan ng trabaho.
We told them that, angkas, na that's your risk, no? Because illegal nga yung ginagawa nila eh. Nag-sign up sila ng ganung karami, no, na illegal yung. Tapos sasabihin nila, inalisan namin trabaho. Wala kaming binibigyan ng trabaho. Wala kaming binibigyan ng prangkisa. So, we are not disenfranchising, no? Yun ang stand namin.
Kasi to begin with, wala pa naman silang franchise. Okay. Oo. So the simple explanation is you just limited it for the study.
For the
so pwedeng
study.
dumagdag pa yung units pag naging legal na. Ganun po ba?
Yes. So, if the study nangyari, lumabas na, sige, ganito ang dapat niyan, then yun ang i-recommend
Ngayon
namin.
po ba, ilan ng mga nakita niyong nag-a-avail na passengers? Nationwide, you're saying it's not just in Metro
Well,
Manila.
okay, riders, from Apari down to Hulo, our conservative estimate is that it involves around 200,000 riders.
When we say riders, the drivers.
The drivers,
Opo.
yun.
But the passengers availing it now, meron ba kayong figures?
Wala kami
pa?
figures. Ang CAS provided us with rides, like for example...
yung bookings, parang
bookings,
ganon.
like for example, in the first 2 months of the run, they gave us a figure, 26,000 rides. So yun ang ano.
Pero tingin nyo ba, naniniwala kayo na nakakatulong siya doon sa mga, yung commuters natin ngayon because of the traffic,
Okay.
kulang ng sasakyan, ng public transport?
I'll be pragmatic about it, Ruth. Nakakatulong. But then, the risk involved, yun ang tinitingnan natin eh. No? Hindi lang yung naihatid mo yung pasahero from point A to point B, pero yung risk involved yan eh. Pagka merong sakuna nangyari dyan, ang puputokan yan gobyerno eh, for allowing it. No? And as it is right now, every day meron ka nababalitaan na aksidente regarding motorcycle.
And yung MMDA study mismo says number one yung motorcycle in terms of road accidents, road crashes. Pero balikan ko lang itong issue, sir, with angkas. No? Hindi kasi matigil-tigil to. They're saying you're forcing the other drivers to move to other companies. It's anti-competitive and morally wrong. And they're saying again na nirarush daw to include them in 3 months at the expense of the riding public. Basahin ko lang yung quote. Sabi, hindi regulasyon ang ginagawa dito. Corruption ang nangyayari.
I don't know whether saying corruption, we're trying to come up with the regulation. No? Ngayon, yung sinasabi nila na pinalilipat namin sa Joyride tsaka sa We Move It, option ng rider yung kung gusto niya. No? Pero sinasabi namin palagi, pilot program to, study to.
So kung, di ba, you're now requiring them to register, di ba, with the extension. Paano po yung proseso?
If you're a rider and if you're the ride-hailing company, like Move It and Joyride and Angkas, then you have to register kung sino yung participant sa program. Why? Because before, yung nga, sinabi nila, 27,000 lang. Wala kaming figure lang yun.
Yes.
walang tao ron, ano? So, tapos nag-submit sila ng report na as far as safety is concerned, 99.9%.
Wala pa nga daw,
So, ibig sabihin nun, out of the 27,000 na tumakbo, isa lang ang nagkaroon ng sakuna. Hindi naman yata yun, no? Kaduda-duda na yun. So, we have to validate that. That's why, that's one reason, teka muna, ibaba na lang natin yung numbers.
Okay. So again, you're just limiting it for the study. Sinasabi niya nga, ang figures na alam niyo, 200,000 nationwide.
Yes, nationwide.
So if ever ma-legalized, pwedeng lumaki sa 200,000
Oo, dahil kasi
drivers.
siyempre, sa dami ng tao na nangangailangan ng hanap buhay ngayon, they're looking into that. Ano? Ayaw naman namin maging wayward yung situation.
Okay.
As I've said, Ruth, we do not want yung kalye natin na maging another sidewalk bending scenario.
Okay. Registration, how will that happen? You're saying Angkas, as of now, only has more than 2,000 registered riders, Joyride 1,400, and also Move It 1,400.
That's as of yesterday, no? I don't know, yesterday morning. Baka nadagdagan na yan, ano? Sa ngayon, wala pa akong...
So kailangan nila mag-register?
Kailangan nila
kailan po?
mag-register, no? Ang tiningnan namin, hanggang January, sometime January, no? Wala pa kaming fixed na date na sinasabi. Kung hindi nila ma-reach yun, okay, then we'll work on the numbers available.
Okay. So kasi like yung Joyride, medyo malayo sila dun. Pwede bang, kung ikaw ay rider, isang ride-hailing app lang ikaw magre-register?
Sa ngayon, ganun ang ginagawa namin. Ano? Is doon ka lang sa isang ride-hailing app. But later, kagaya halimbawa nung sa Grab.
Sa Grab, pwede kang...
Pwede magpalipat-lipat. Ano? Depende yan ngayon doon sa may-ari ng sasakyan kung saan siya makakakuha ng magandang deal. Ano? Like
So for now, yun muna.
Yun muna,
They have to register with one ride-hailing
Yes.
app. Okay. We'll be taking another short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay with us. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today is sorry.
Swansing.
Alberto Suansing, sir, sorry. Kasi I was looking at the name of board member Garjola. Oo, kasi yung statements niya rin kanina against Angkas, no? He's saying na yung sinabi niyo, binubully pa kayo,
Yeah.
and then emotional blackmail, no? What do you make of all these parang nagiging conflict siya between the TWG and then Angkas? How will this influence your decision?
No.
Or your
ganito
recommendation?
Yan. Ganito yan, ano? Ginagawa ngayon ng Angkas is nag-iinganyo siya, no? Nag-aaya siya ng mga membership. Like for example, doon nga sa Gensan, ano? We've learned that doon sila nagpo-promote, no? And what? Then mag-ooperate sila. Illegal yun.
Yeah.
Illegal yun, ano? Pero ang gusto nilang parabesin dyan is...
Why are you saying illegal siya if they're promoting in Gensan?
Hindi, kasi pag once you promote, then pinapangakuan mo yung mga riders na member mo na okay, pwede na kayong bumiyahe.
Okay.
Which is illegal.
Because it's not authorized
It's not
in
authorized.
Gensan. Okay.
It's not, everywhere in the Philippines.
No, I mean,
it's
but
not
now kasi it's authorized because of the pilot run for
Pilot
Metro
program.
Manila and Cebu.
In Cebu.
Okay.
Oo. Then, ako, ang tingin ko dyan, ano, it's a strategy for them to get the numbers and then use that to, what? Threaten politicians. We have the number. Yun.
Threaten politicians for what?
Well, to have it their way. No?
You were describing it as parang gusto nila.
Tyranny yan eh. No? It's chaos. You know? That's what they want. Ano?
Yung question ko is, how do you think etong palitan of such like words between you and Angkas will influence yung recommendation nyo?
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. Objective kami sa technical working group. What we would like to come up with is yung recommendations on the kind of regulation na impose natin dyan sa motorcycle once it becomes a motorcycle taxi, public utility vehicle.
And repeatedly, you're mentioning, sir, about yung concern on safety and road crashes.
Yes.
So far, yung insurance nila, kasi may binanggit naman din itong Joyride and Angkas na may insurance coverage.
Well,
so far, anong assessment nyo doon?
Mabuti nga may pumatol sa kanilang insurance company in spite of the fact that they are illegal.
Okay.
No? Okay lang yan. In fact, that's one of the requirements that we will ask them. Ano? if let's say it becomes a law, na dapat merong insurance.
Okay.
Para may laban naman ng konti yung pasahero nila.
Pero yung possibility, sir, na pwede rin bang i-recommend yun na wag gawing public transport ang mga
Yes,
motorsiklo?
if we find out during the study na ang epekto niyan is ganito, then we will recommend to Congress itong epekto niyan. No? Taking into considerations other stakeholders, yung road users.
Okay, yun nga baka magalit yung mga gumagamit ng angkas or yung motorcycle taxis.
We have to balance these things.
Okay.
As I've said, yung motorcycle sa personal transport facility, okay yan. No? Pero yung gagamitin mo yan as public utility vehicle, doon tayo mag-uusap. No? Malalim na usapin yan.
Okay. After March, wala na bang extension? Do you think that's enough time?
In fact, tinitingnan nga namin sa technical working group, if we can finish it earlier than March, then we'll do it. Then terminate the program.
Okay.
Then pag tinerminate yung program, well, as sinabi nga nila, is as it was in the beginning. Illegal yan.
So if you terminate it earlier than March, walang motorcycle taxis muna natatakbo while you're in the process
Yes.
of...
Illegal yan. So, well, they're ano yan, they run the risk.
muna sila.
They run the risk na pagka tumakbo sila, uhulihin sila.
At least for the time na you submit your recommendation to Congress
Up
and
to
then
the time
Congress
na
passes the...
Up to the time na maging batas.
Opo. So pag ganon, may time frame ba or wala naman? You mentioned you can terminate it before March and then for Congress, may sinabi ba sila na how long?
Walang time frame yan. Because the Congress for sure and the Senate for sure will conduct another hearing and then ask everybody, all sectors' view on the matter.
So hopefully you're looking at before March.
Yes.
Finishing your
finishing
study
it, earlier than March, then that's it. Terminate the program.
Okay, thank you very much to our guest for today, Mr. Alberto Suansing, ASIC. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Ruth Cabal. You're watching CNN Philippines.